Mort Neff, Mr. Michigan Outdoors, was a pioneer in outdoor television programming. His Michigan Outdoors television series brought the great outdoors into the living rooms of thousands of Michigan residents each Thursday night. For nearly a quarter of a century, through a network of 6 television stations, everyone came to trust the familiar face of Mort Neff. From the very beginnings of the show in the 1950s, Mort and the Michigan Outdoors crew stressed the values of good sportsmanship and conservation. Hunting, fishing, and just enjoying the beauty of Michigan's outdoors was made more popular by the efforts of Mort Neff and the Michigan Outdoors television series. 15 years after Mort turned the reins of the program over to a successor, he passed away at an area hospital near his Harbor Springs home. It seemed the entire state felt the loss. Mort Neff had passed away, but not before he left a legacy of appreciation and respect for the great outdoors, tempered with a strong sense of sportsmanship. Shortly before his passing, we had the opportunity to visit with Mort Neff at his Harbor Springs home, where he talked of his early days in television and the inspiration of Michigan and her people. We asked Mort, through his many travels to all corners of the state, what he considered to be the most inspiring in Michigan, one that perhaps left him with a sense of awe.
The Tequamanon Falls in February. You ever been there?
No, not in February. Yes, I've been there, but not in February.
Oh, you got to see it in the winter. We made a little short up there. Dick Black was in on that, and we called it Odyssey in White. And when that fall freezes over with a great gushing of water that escapes in these fountains at the bottom, and these majestic icicles coming down, Dell, go up and see it. Go up and see it.
You talked me into it already.
Oh, it is a gorgeous sight. But inspirational, I'll tell you what's the most inspirational thing. The youngsters I ran into who were growing up during the days of Michigan Outdoors, who were so eager to learn, and so eager to learn to do it in the right way and be good sportsmen. When I felt that I contributed anything to their future, boy, that was gratifying, let me tell you. The prettiest sights, though, in Michigan are probably in the Upper Peninsula. Scenically, what the heck, you can't beat the western end of Lake Michigan, the Porcupine Mountains. You can't beat Miners Falls, 150 waterfalls up there. You just can't top that anywhere. And I love that Upper Peninsula. And that bridge was the greatest access point. You know, that bridge was built in my time, too.
You mean the Mac?
Yeah, Big Mac, yeah. And that made a link that was so important to the outdoorsman.
Really the bond between the
it was pretty remote in the days of the old ferry, you know. That was a big point of resistance. No more. It's wide open now.
I remember taking the ferry across there.
Remember the long lines of the ferry waiting for them? My heavens, they'd be backed up all the way down to...
Deer season was terrible.
You didn't go deer hunting in those days. In the UP for a few days, you went for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Took a week to get up there and a week to get back.
Books. Written books?
No, never written a book. No.
Have you thought about writing a biography or anything? You see, nowadays that everybody's writing books.
I know.
I think it would be interesting, from my standpoint of view, an outdoorsman like you, to write something like that.
Listen, Dell. If I were a man with an acute memory, you know, that could remember everything day by day like some lucky people can, I might go for that. Mm-hmm. But I have trouble. You can tell me, can't you remember the day we were doing so-and-so? And that recalls it, but I can't bring it out of my memory, and I can't write a book for that reason. And I didn't keep any biographical. No, nothing. So that's how.
Okay. Awards.
Oh, well, lots of those. Lots of those. Yeah.
How about mounts? Things that and some wild hunts you've been on. Deer or bear?
No, don't believe in that.
Don't believe in that?
No, I'm sorry. I would rather carry the memory of a hunt. In the first place, I'm not a big game hunter. I'm not like Howard Shelley in the big game field. I don't go for that. I have only killed 1 deer in my life, and that was with a bow and arrow.
Is that right?
And
That's a surprise to me.
Too many pictures in my mind of these beautiful animals, I can't shoot them. That's the trouble. That's the trouble. I can't do it.
But fishing?
That's another ball game. That's another ball game. Fishing's my favorite sport. It used to be duck hunting, but fishing now. And I'll tell you a story. You know, back in 1918, Chile, in South America, imported rainbow trout eggs from Michigan in 1918. I found this out. They had no rainbow trout in Chile. Then we organized an expedition via television. We said, I'm going down to Chile to find out what happened to these rainbow trout. I'd like to have 6 or 8 volunteers come down with me. Well, I got them like that. Well, they came along. I did this for 6 years. And we went down there, and we went into the mountain rivers of Chile, and we found out that the rainbow trout imported from Michigan grew faster down there than anywhere in the world. A 2-pound rainbow trout would weigh 6 pounds in Chile because they found a favorite little crab they were eating in the bottom of these rivers.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The crab probably wouldn't live in our climate here.
No, it was indigenous to these Chilean rivers for some reason. It's called a pancora. It's about as big as a $50. And the trout stomachs were filled with them. And they grew tremendously. We took a man down there from Traverse City, Buck, what was his name now? Buck Newton, I think his name was. Buck went down with me, and on that one trip, we stayed 2 weeks, he caught a 21 3/4 pound rainbow trout, whose granddaddy came from Michigan.
My. Boy, no, that's...
Not a steelhead.
No, I know.
Rainbow. Yeah.
That's a big trout.
Oh, beautiful trout.
That's a rainbow.
Don't mind this cat.
But the cat, now, the cat, what's the cat's name?
Hamlet.
Hamlet.
Yeah.
Well, Hamlet, I don't imagine this is Hamlet's TV debut.
Here, meet the man with the hat. There he is. Right there. That's Hamlet.
Hi, Hamlet.
Oh, you want to go home with you, just scratch his skin. Okay. And wading rivers used to be my hobby. I love trout fishing. But as I get older, the rocks get slipperier. You know that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. So I kind of withdrew from wading, and I don't like boat fishing too much. But I finally had to slow down a little bit, and I resorted to a hobby with which I have been for many, many years, over 70 years as a matter of fact, and that's a ham radio operator. I find that a very relaxing thing, especially I live alone. And with ham radio in my back room here, as I hope you will be able to see, I'll take it back and show it to you.
Sure.
I'm in touch with the world, all over the world. We have a great fraternity of ham operators, though probably in excess of 1 million of them throughout the world. And for a change right now, we talk with Russians every day.
Is that right?
Yeah. And most of them speak English.
Really?
Do any of us speak Russian?
No.
Oh, no. Do any of us speak foreign languages? Oh, no. But in France, Germany, England, everywhere, 2 languages. Everybody's bilingual except the USA. Isn't that weird?
It is.
I probably spend a couple of hours a day at that. Then I spend maybe an hour writing. A lot of correspondence, you know. There are a whole lot of people with whom I correspond, to keep in touch with all the time. And that takes time writing that. And then I get involved in community affairs. Boy.
Plenty of that.
Oh, yeah. I'm involved in that. There'll be a board meeting today with our Property Owners Association, which is always talking about, you know what, taxes? A universal subject.
Yes, it is.
And also active in following the fortunes of the school board here and how they're conducting their pursuit of education for the youngsters, which leaves a lot to be desired everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere, I'll tell you that.
What's in the future for Mort Neff?
Hey, who knows?
You just said it.
Call me tomorrow. I may not be here. No, come on.
What, if I'm not being too personal, how old is Mort Neff today?
I'm 85, nearly 86. I'll be 86 in December, so you tell me what's in the future. Come on, man with a hat. Oh, well, I am lucky. Lucky to be, ambulatory, lucky to be able to engage in almost any sport. I still do cross-country skiing.
Oh, boy.
But no more downhill. Things get too brittle for that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I think you've got a big field there. That idea of yours of running a Michigan magazine, you got a big field to work on. If you're working with just people, and what's more interesting than people?
Oh, you said it.
And the world is full of people who will make great subjects for you right here in Michigan.
And Mort was right. 5 years after that interview, we found numerous fascinating people and places to visit right here in the state of Michigan. Thanks to Mort's pioneering efforts, programs like Michigan Magazine have developed and prospered, highlighting the many positive attributes of this Great Lakes state. Mort's legacy of enjoying and preserving what Michigan has to offer has left a deep sense of responsibility to generations that have followed him. In our next edition of Michigan Magazine, we talk with Mort about those that were truly close to him, his children. And then we visit with 2 of his 4 children, his oldest daughter, Joey Arbaugh, and his only son, Jay Neff. Here we learn firsthand about the inspiration they received while growing up with their dad, Mr. Michigan Outdoors, Mort Neff.